Oh, perfect. Hi, pool people. Welcome to episode 3. I'm going to jump in really quick before we start the podcast.
Ooh. I think it's probably pretty warm today in Phoenix, and that looks like a nice refreshing dip. What's the,
Okay.
what's the temperature there this morning in Phoenix?
Oh, man. See, my little thermometer guy over there says it's 80 right now.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cold for Phoenix.
It's not bad. Better than a low of 90. That's the worst.
Yeah.
Okay. How's it down there in Tucson?
All right.
Very nice. Okay. Well, for those who don't have a pool of their own, let alone a natural swimming pool, I think today we're going to be talking about public natural pools, which most of those are in, I believe, Europe. Well over 100 in Europe, but we do have a few here in
Several hundred in Europe. Yes. Yeah.
several hundred in Europe,
Yeah.
but we do have some here in the United States as well. So we can chat a little bit more about that, the commercial permitting process, dealing with the health department, and all that fun stuff. If you're interested in building one of these on your commercial property and promoting chemical-free swimming.
Good.
Yeah, you
So,
want to get us started? Tell us kind of
yeah,
your
the
history
the
with.
hist the history of the public natural swimming pool started in Austria, back in ooh 1990.
Was the
Um,
first one.
yeah, yeah. And it was built by Gerhard Brandelmeier. Gerhard Brandelmeier was the um, founder of Bionova and in Austria, and it's in a town in Upper Austria, the name of which escapes me at the moment. It's on our website. Um, and it was originally built as a Type 1 pool, meaning that it had absolutely no technology. It was simply a pond. It was a constructed pond, and it was surrounded with a regeneration zone that had a separation wall between the swimming area, where there are no plants, and the regeneration zone, which was all gravel with aquatic plants in it,
In
and
type 1 meaning no pumps,
no pumps,
just
no
all
pumps, no
natural
skimmers, nothing.
limnology cycles.
Yes, yeah. But optimized, the way um, the perfect pond would be.
Yeah,
Um, and it's still in operation today, although they have added skimmers to it, and it has pump and it has plumbing through the regeneration zone now.
good.
But it's been in constant use, well, every summer because it's in Austria where it gets cold, and it's been continuously in use every summer since it was originally constructed. That was the first one. Um, the Actually, I have some photos here. Let me get them. Um, the That spread, and more were built. Some went into hotels. Hey, son, my wife and I were at a hotel in Bad Bleiberg in the Austrian Alps, um, where there was one at the hotel, and that was the first one that we ever saw. That was the first time back in 2007, um, that um, that we saw a public natural swimming pool. It was frozen over at the time because we were there in the winter. But anyway, so they started in Austria. They fairly quickly spread to southern Germany, to Bavaria. Um,
Hmm.
and they were brought there by Rainer Graffinger, who was a disciple, if you will, of Gerhard Brandlmeier. And Rainer did the first public natural swimming pool in Germany in 2000, somewhere around 2000, I believe. Um,
Yeah.
and it was a um, uh, a, a two-pot pool, as they say, um, and it had a large swimming zone, and then a separated and physically far away regeneration zone. And the water from the pool would circulate through the pool and then over to the regeneration zone, where it went slowly through the aquatic plants and then cycled back to the pool. It also had a kiddie pool that was on a separate loop, but still being filtered off of the same regeneration zone. But the kiddie
Nice.
pool could be drained and cleaned quickly. So that was the whole idea with that. Um,
Just in case there's a little Snickers bar accident inside
yeah,
there.
if you get a brown trout in the pool,
Yeah.
you want to be able to drain it and clean it quick.
Yeah.
Um, that was the first one, and the the problem with or the opportunity, if you don't believe there are problems, only opportunities. Every once in a
Especially in
while,
nature.
every once in a while, you run across an insurmountable opportunity. But anyway, the health department, the health department in Europe at the time, they all required that public swimming pools be chlorinated. And naturally, our pools are not chlorinated. So um, we don't fit that mold, and therefore they were prohibited. However, as Mr. Groffinger used to say, if the people want it, they will get it. And if the people in the town say, no, 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 we want a natural pool, we like the idea of swimming in chemical-free water, we think that's an appropriate thing to do. It's a choice. You don't have to swim in a chemical free pool. If you want to swim in a chemical pool, you can. But it's a choice, and when they want one, um, they can have it. And initially, it was somewhat difficult to get permit to build public natural swimming pool, even in Europe. However, they went through a lot of analysis. The Germans are extremely well regulated. They like to follow protocols. They like to have things done scientifically. And they went through the analysis and determined that this was a proper alternative to a chemical pool, that a natural swimming pool would work. And as long as you regulated it properly um, and ensured the microbiological standards were being met for the health department, that were the same microbiological standards that were required by like the World Health Organization for a public swimming beach. If there's a pond or a river where people have a public swimming facility that is
Mm.
not chlorinated because it's natural, a natural pond or a natural river, um, it still has to meet the microbiological standards for ensuring that the water is of sufficient quality to allow people to swim in it. And those same standards were adopted, actually tightened for natural swimming pools. And the German FLL, the FLL is an organization that originally started coming up with the standards for green roofs. And they then adopted or went were chartered with writing the guidelines for public natural swimming pools as well as private natural swimming pools, but for public natural swimming pools. And the last set of standards they wrote was in 2007, I think. It was a while ago, but
Yeah.
those standards have remained the same for the entire time. And the FLL is the Research Society for landscape development and landscape construction. That's how it translates,
Hmm.
roughly.
Yeah.
And the um, that body is now the work that they've done on establishing the standards for public natural swimming pools in Germany, which have been adopted, the FLL guidelines have been adopted by most of the EU countries. Um,
Mhm.
the those standards are now being taken over, and new standards are being written by the German public swimming pool um, regulatory agency, the DGFGB and GGFDB.
Okay,
Um,
not the IOB.
no, not the IOB. No, um, the IOB is international. It's based in
Makes
Germany, but
sense.
it's international, and it doesn't write regulatory standards.
Mm.
Um, the um, the DGFDB now regulates all public pools in Germany, chlorinated
Perfect.
ones as well as natural ones. So it's an improvement to bring the natural swimming pool guidelines and regulations under the same body that regulates all public swimming pools,
Yeah.
chlorinated as chemical pools as well as natural pools.
Yeah.
So that's good to see.
That is
Um,
good. So that even in chemical pools, there's still have they started testing for those same key indicator organisms?
absolutely. Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah,
I know. I can't wait for us to do that here.
yeah,
They only care about the chlorine, pH,
yes,
and that's pretty much it.
yeah. As my partner Alan Schnock likes to say, we have the reason we put chemicals in a swimming pool is to reduce the possibility of harmful pathogens, um, becoming a problem for swimmers in the pool.
Yeah. To
And
suppress
the,
biological growth.
right, and the natural swimming pool is doing the same thing. Um,
Yep.
we just do it in a different way. We do it without chemicals.
Hmm.
So
I like to think of it
anyway,
as we always have residual in the water
yes,
because we always have the microorganisms in the water. The only thing that really differs is the nutrient load
yeah,
spiking up and down.
yeah. The natural system doesn't have chemicals dissipate.
Yeah,
It's always
exactly.
there. Um,
Yep.
At any rate, then many years ago in New Jersey, um, the there was a town there that was interested in possibly converting a pond that they were swimming in um, into a natural pool. And the reason they were motivated to do that is the pond was a natural pond. Actually, it was a constructed pond, but it's went back years and years and years. My father used to swim in it when he was a kid back in the 1930s. Um, and the pond was um, problematic in the sense that the water quality was terrible, and you couldn't see the bottom of the pond. And a young boy drowned in the pond, and it took them, I don't know, half a day or something, hours and hours and hours to find his body, which just precipitated a huge public outcry against continuing to have this pond operate the way it was. So they started to chlorinate it, and the
Hmm.
problem was that it was overflowing then into a local river, and that was not good either. So they looked at the possibility of converting it to a natural swimming pool, and um, my wife and I and my daughter, and my daughter is has a master's in public health, and she was working with CDC at the time. Um, we went and spoke to the head of the New Jersey public pool um, commission or whatever they're called, I forget, and um, went through a presentation with him and said, "Look, this is what we have," and we showed him the data from Europe, et cetera. And he said, "Well, if they want to go ahead with this, we would be happy to grant a a waiver to allow a public natural swimming pool to operate here, and we'll want to see how it works and all that. But we would be able to go ahead with that." Well, it never came, it never went through. But Several years later, we had an inquiry from the city of Minneapolis about doing a public natural swimming pool there. And they had Minneapolis is a very progressive city,
Hmm.
and it's also it's a land of lakes, and they already had I don't know a half a dozen public swimming ponds in the city and around the city in neighboring cities and
Hmm.
towns. Where these were natural ponds that that were public bathing beaches, and they were already doing the microbiological standards to ensure that they were appropriate and had, you know, microbiological standards for um, path um, pathogenic disease below the threshold that's necessary for ensuring the public safety. So they went through on their own a change in the law for the state, allowing the construction of a natural swimming pool, constructed natural swimming pool at a place called Weber Park in Minneapolis. It's on the north side of Minneapolis, and it was several years in the making. Um, but at the end of the day, we wound up doing the design work for the public natural swimming pool there and implemented it, and it opened in 2015,
2012?
2015, I think.
Oh, it was 2015? Oh,
I
that
think
makes
so.
more sense.
Yeah.
It's two,
Um,
3 years
it
before
started
the
it started
BF4.
it started in 2012. Um,
That's right. Yeah.
the whole process started in 2012. Um, anyway, it's still open today, and it's
Yep.
been very well received by the people who live there. They love it, and um,
And I like to point out and remind people that the Weber Park is a bioswim pond in that it has
that is
all
correct.
plant regeneration zone. It does not have our super efficient BF4 deep bed gravel filter, our biofilm reactor. So
At the
if we added
time,
that biofilm reactor onto Weber Park, I'm sure it would have,
it would even improve the water quality. But
yeah, it would have been even better. Yeah.
the at the time, the FLO guidelines did not permit a fast filter. Actually, fast filters were really not even well known at the time. Um,
Hmm.
the slow filter, the BioSwim pond, was the proven technology, and it works. Um,
You just need a really
but now
large plant
today,
regeneration zone.
yeah, today, recently in Switzerland,
Okay.
the um, I think it's the Swiss member of the IOB has worked on doing an analysis in conjunction with Germany, on a fast filter there on a public pool because they're permitted there.
Nice.
And they've completed the study. I don't think it's published yet, but it's going to be published soon, demonstrating that this type of filtration works fine for a public pool. And as a result of that, the DGFDB will incorporate those guidelines into the German standards. Um,
Okay. Are
here in
they
the
doing
U.S.,
just a BF4 public pool, or is it going to be a small regeneration zone too?
no, it's just a fast filter.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Um, here in the U.S., last year, the our Bionova dealer out of Massachusetts, Jesse Dutra, um, was invited to work with the um, um, the TV show Building Outside the Lines,
Hmm.
and they had their um, host Jared Kapp, who goes by the name Cappy, has a resort in South Dakota where they wanted to do a natural swimming pool, and at the resort, which means it's a public swimming pool.
Hmm.
So we have been working with the um, South Dakota Health Department. First of all, with the legislature there, we worked with them in order to get a law passed allowing for small resorts or hotels, campgrounds, whatever, um, to have a public natural swimming pool. And we have recently um, worked with them with the health department there because it passed the legislature and so it's legal to write the standards for it. And in these standards, we're not saying anything, or they're not saying anything about the type of filter on the pool, if it's a slow filter or a fast filter. Just that as long as it meets the standards, the
Mhm.
microbiological standards, the proof is in the pudding. We don't care how you make the pudding. Um, and so I'm pleased to see um, that happening. And that pool's been also successful. The people at the resort like it. So
Yeah, so
um,
if anyone wants to go watch it, right? I think it's on HBO Max.
yes, yeah,
Building
you can get
Outside the Lines. I think
yes,
it's the last episode of season 3,
yeah. It's the
I
last
think.
episode of whatever season.
Yeah, it's the last episode. Building
Yeah,
Outside the Lines,
yeah,
HBO Max.
yeah.
That's a wonderful pool that they built. Big
Yes,
one too.
yeah, yes, yes, it is. And it's at the Short Grass Resort in South Dakota.
Perfect.
So if you
So
want to
does
book a room and
Minnesota
go
and
there, go
South
ahead.
Dakota, are they the only ones with official laws passed already approving
So far,
natural pools?
yes. Now that being said, Alan Schnock has been working with the CDC. He's on the board that helps to write the codes for the CDC for the Model Aquatic Health Code. Um, and we're looking to get an inroad there in order to allow for public natural swimming pools within that framework. Similarly, Alan is on the committee that writes the rules for the Pool and Hot Tub Association, which
Mhm.
effectively is the industry organization for the swimming pool industry in the U.S.
Mhm.
And we're looking to also incorporate the ability to allow for a natural swimming pool, a regulated natural swimming pool, to be built in for public, for hotels and um, public swimming without chemicals.
Yep.
Um, we've had quite a few inquiries from all over the country for public natural swimming pools, and in different places around the country. I think in Texas, somebody's working on something, and
Yeah, a few in Texas,
yeah, there's a few.
couple
That
here in Arizona that
yeah.
should be happening, and lots of dog resorts as well. I know they're
Oh
not
yeah.
public swimming pools, but I've had at least two uh, dog training boarding companies want to build a dog resort and have uh, little pools for the
Uh-huh.
dogs to jump in. So the sky's
Yeah.
the limit.
Yeah. Yeah. In Florida, we had an inquiry, and there's a large public swimming facility there. I think it's in Coral Gables. I was there um, with a client, and it's been open to the public for years. It's an old place. And there's another one also in Texas, a place called Barton Springs. I believe
Mm,
it's in Austin. That is a public swimming venue that's a natural. Um, that's natural water, but it's not a constructed swimming pond. It's a natural, you know,
yeah.
existed in nature. It's been augmented, but so it's sort of permitted, kind of backdoor that way. Um,
Hmm.
but we'd like to get a uh, formal set of regulations for natural swimming pools because it only
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, that would open up the door, make it easier for investors and owners who want to develop, their own eco lodge
Sure,
or
look at campgrounds. I mean, people go to campgrounds in order to commune with nature.
Yeah.
And to have a chlorinated swimming pool, just, you know, fine, but a natural swimming pool would actually have a lot more appeal.
Yeah, well, like when we go to the Campground of America, my family reunion up in Williams, next to Flagstaff up in the Pines, beautiful place, awesome go-kart track, indoor swimming pool. I can't even get within 5 feet of the door without becoming overwhelmed with the chlorine, the combined chlorine smell inside that facility. And even then, when people are camping, last thing they want to do is go swim in a bleach bath.
Yeah,
And the pool is almost empty the whole time. I did see a few families swimming in there, unfortunately, in our time there. Um, but that is where a lot of people who have these chlorine chemical pools in commercial settings understand how hard it is. And they think that, if I have to deal with this chlorine and chemical smell, uh, might as well try a normal natural pool. Can't be any worse than this, breathing in all the chloramines.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, just looking to see if I have some pictures here. I know I have them. Well, anyway. So that kind of brings you up to date on public pools. Um,
Awesome. Yeah, I think that'll be a real game changer once we start getting more states rolling out that regulation and more commercial pools we build, public and semi-public. The more people can experience it themselves and understand that it's natural water that you can trust way more than a chemically treated pool.
yes.
Yeah, awesome. So how about next time? What do we want to address next time?
Um, how about if we talk about some of the requirements, parameters, what's associated with coming up with a design for a natural swimming pool in a residence? What things do you need to take into account? Um,
Yeah, plumbing, hydraulics, sizing, the biofilters.
Site water management, slopes,
Yes. Oh,
retaining
yes.
walls.
Next time, let's talk about that, the
Yeah,
requirements in our
yeah.
designs versus every other
Patios,
pond builder you've seen
patios,
online.
patio material,
Hmm.
color.
Yeah.
There's lots to talk about. So,
Honestly, just rainwater mitigation and slope. Every
yeah,
time I see YouTubers online building their pond liners, a huge recreation pond, and I look around and one side of the pond has a hill
yeah.
going down into it. So every time it rains, you're just going to get all that runoff going down into your pond. So, yes, that's a great topic for us to address next time.
Okay, good.
Awesome. Perfect. Well, thank you, James. I really appreciate it. I'm getting hot again, so I'm going to jump in really quick to say goodbye. But thanks, pool people. Appreciate you taking the time, learning more about natural pools. This is going to be the future, and you're still kind of on the ground floor of this technology. So thanks for helping us spread it.
Your go for splashdown.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
All right. All right. Thanks.
oh. Bye, everybody.
Bye.